Hi, this is Alexandra with Beadaholique, here to show you how to use the Ring Weaver tool by Beadalon. So this tool is for weaving wire into shapes, as you see that I've done here in some various designs I've come up with. And on the tool itself, it shows you the sizes that it makes, 4, 6, 9, and 11. And that's based on where you place your pegs in the tool. So the first thing I'm going to do is put this tool together by taking these pegs and placing them where I want them. Now this is subtle. I'm going to try the size 9, and that is just within the outermost ring. So it almost looks like there are 3 sizes, but in fact there are 4. So let me go ahead and put these in. And you'll notice that each one's got a little sanded tip that's a bit wider and holds it in place. And that's what locks it in there. So I put them smooth side first. I'll be working my way all around. You can see my different projects I came up with. I was very inspired for ways to use this tool besides just for making rings. You can do earrings, necklaces, add beads. So it is a nice, versatile, clever invention. Once I get these in, I'll be adding the little foam pad that you see down here to keep them in place. And the tool does come with a couple of extras just in case you need them. All right, I've got what I need there, and now I'm going to put my foam pad in, just like so. And here's a note for disassembly. All you do is push on one of the pegs and the foam will come out of the bottom. So I've got that set, and you'll also notice there's a little notch right there, and that's my starting point. So once I cut my wire, I'll know where to place it. Bring my ruler in. I'm going to measure about 40 inches of wire. I'll be making a natural copper frame out of 24 gauge wire. It's about 40. So to start and load the wire, I'm going to fold it in half. So I have even amounts on either side. And at my halfway point, I'm going to load that onto the tool on the peg just to the right of that notch. So having loaded my wire onto that peg just to the right of the notch, I'm going to begin my weaving by taking the right hand wire and weaving it in between the notch it's hooked on and the next one. So you see I've begun to weave the wire in and out of those pegs, starting with the right hand wire over the top of the left, and now I'm going to bring that second wire over the top of the right. And that's how it alternates all the way around. And you just want to make sure that you get onto the proper peg with the proper wire to keep that pattern going. Taking the right wire over the left, left wire over right, and just continue all the way around. Once I get back to my starting point, I'm going to continue in the same fashion over the first band and create a second and then a third. Alternating wires, weaving in and out. You can see I'm holding with my thumbnail just to keep it secure. Right over left, right over left. So I'm approaching that notch again. I know that I'm going to start my second row in the same way. And I'm going to continue like this. Once I'm done with my third round, I will show you the next step. So I'm finishing up my third round of wrapping. And you can see from the amount that I have left, I could elect to go around again if I wanted. You can really make as many bands as you want depending on the length of wire that you cut. But what I'm going to demonstrate here is the next step. Using the remainder of my wire, I'm going to pull my work up to the center of the tool, like so. And taking one side, doesn't really matter which, because I'll be using both for the same purpose. I'm going to take the end of one and tuck it. I'm looking at which peg I'm against. I am against this peg here, and so I'm going to tuck my wire back through my weaving against that peg. Sometimes my pliers can help me in this process as well, but I have a long enough wire that it's workable here. I'm pulling through. The key is to unkink that loop so it doesn't bend and get stuck. Use my pliers to help me with this. The hard part is getting this first couple of lengths through. Then once I have it secured, I can take the whole ring off and work a little easier. So with this same wire, having come through my first re-entry, I'm going to repeat that in reverse against the second peg. So let me get my pliers to help me get this wire through. And I'm going to guide it back through up against that next one. And in this fashion, I'm going to weave in and out of my loops to create a frame for my work to help keep the shape of the ring. So designer's choice here. You can also, if the 24 gauge is causing kinking and coming through difficult, you can use 26 by replacing the wire. But for simplicity here and for strength of the ring, I'm gonna stick with it and work with the 24 gauge, coming back opposite direction through the next loop. And I want to make sure that I get it through so that it is catching over the intersection of the wires, and that's what's going to hold it together. So once I get this one, I'll pull the whole ring off, and then I'll have an easier time weaving in and out because the pegs won't be in my way. Pull that through, and now you can see got the frame starting by weaving in and out like so. I'm catching it on that intersection and weaving back through. And I'm going to keep going this way around the perimeter of the ring, and then I'll show you how to finish it off. And the key also is to keep your tension on the previous pull so that they stay tight. So when it starts to pull out on itself, I'm just going to use my thumb to brace that back in. Finishing up my last loop here. And what you can elect to do is go back with the other wire and reinforce in the same way, or just wrap it off. You don't actually need 2 wires going through. So what I've done, for example, in this design is used my extra wires to go ahead and continue wrapping beads on either side. That's another option. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to go ahead and finish this off now. I'm going to clip most of my extra wire off and weave my wire in just by coiling it around one wrap on the frame. And I'll do that with each wire, using my pliers to help me fit that through. And pull it taut. And you'll just want to make sure that the end of your wire is not going to be against your finger where it's rubbing. And you want to make sure it's in a tight spot where it will coil and tuck nicely and be secure. So I've got the one, and now I'm going to do this one in the same way, coiling back around one of my wraps, making sure my coil is tight, clip the extra, and tuck the wire in. So that's the 3-banded version of the size 9. Now let's check it here on the mandrel. And that looks about right. It could even stretch down to a 9.5. And that's how to make the woven ring using the ring weaving tool by Beadalon. And all of these project bundles, tools, and supplies are available at Beadaholique.com. And also be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the latest updates. Thanks for watching.